Welcome back to the SighSquad podcast.
Yo.
How's y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Good. Nice. Brendan?
Well, I'm alive.
Hey, that's about as much as you can ask
We're
for.
all alive right now. I love it.
Yeah. Some more than others. Well, what's going on in the world of sports this week?
Oh, good amount of stuff.
We got more than one sport again.
We have more that we have a new sport starting tomorrow at the day of recording.
It's crazy.
We have the WNBA draft tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you watching it, Brendan?
Nope.
Can you name one player that's going to be drafted?
The one that
No,
Paige Buchers
Paige Buchers is not
in the
eligible.
draft. That's
Are
another, I
you
think,
watching
2 years
the
away,
WNBA?
right?
I will not.
I'm at work.
Unfortunately, I got a thing going on.
Are you going to watch the WNBA draft?
You know, I might watch the first 3 picks,
All right.
get a vibe. We'll see what
Watch
happens.
the first 3 and come back and tell us who they are.
All right. Well, while you guys are talking, I'm looking up WNBA mock draft for you guys.
All right. We'll go on to the NBA. The NBA is going on, but, I mean, there's some struggles going on right now. It's COVID season once again.
Yeah, COVID's hitting the NBA bad right now.
But I'm glad that they've decided to just, postpone games or whatever, and they haven't just, canceled the season.
Right.
And it was kind of expected when they decided they weren't going to bubble. So,
I'm sure it will get under order as we get farther.
Well, yeah, and with how long the NBA season goes along, I mean, once maybe a vaccine's available and all that stuff, and things kind of slow down. I think the NBA might, towards the end of the year, might slow down with the COVID cases. I mean, we are projected a big spike around this time right now, anyway. So, I mean, like I said, there hasn't been any major. I mean, yeah, they've had the rescheduled games, but it hasn't been anything serious, threatening to the season. I think with the season being this long and, a lot of days to reschedule, I think it works out to where with a bigger sport like this as opposed to football where you have a lot more holes to jump through in the NBA, it's not as bad. Baseball, it would be tough because you're playing a lot of a lot of 3-game series, some cases you're playing 6 days in a row, and it's a little harder that way. But basketball, it's pretty well spread out. I feel like hockey will kind of run into the same stuff. So I think even if hockey gets any case, I know the Maple Leafs had to postpone the start of their season, I'm pretty sure, because of COVID cases. But I think once that gets under control.
Where are they playing out of?
What's that?
Canada's allowing the NHL.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the Canadian teams are actually in one division this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know we're talking about that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to take Brendan's thunder from hockey. That's his thing.
Hockey.
The hottest news from the ice, but
the hottest news from
is that Vander Kane is filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, boy doesn't know how to.
Can horses file for bankruptcy?
who is the horse named Vander Kane?
Vander Kane is...
Sounds like a Triple Crown winning horse. Yeah,
Damn right. Belmont Stakes.
Belmont Stakes, baby.
Elmer's glue.
That's what they're going to turn him into, get assets. Vander Kane is kind of a hard-hitting forward. He's known for kind of some scrappy play on the ice, huge hits that lead into some good turnovers. But he's also just known for having the most problems outside the rink.
What team does he play for?
The San Jose Sharks. He used to play for the Winnipeg Jets.
He was quite good at the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes.
Who's a good NFL cop? Someone who's good but not a superstar, but has a lot of off-field problems. Antonio Brown. Kareem Hunt.
Josh Gordon.
Antonio Brown. Kareem Hunt literally just beat up his girlfriend once, and then he has changed his ways.
And now he's a top 10 running back in football.
As a second string. I think Cleveland should trade Kareem Hunt. But
No, the dual bat works way too good.
It actually works out quite well with those two. So if I'm Cleveland, I don't mess with it.
Give it maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But a hockey, Brendan.
there was another team that straight up postponed their season until.
Well, you look that up. We'll go back to the WNBA.
Yes, okay. So the New York Liberty, for the second year in a row, had the first overall pick. They are projected to draft a big woman, technically, because she's a center.
Big one.
I realize I came out wrong. That's not what I mean, because in basketball they say, the big man.
So the first pick's going to be Lizzo?
Will not. It'll be Charlie Collier, center from Texas.
She built different.
She is simply built different. She is 6. Oh my god. She averaged 13 points, 10.5 rebounds. She's 6'5". Holy hell.
She makes me look like a baby.
Yeah. She's gonna help our girl Sabrina in the Liberty.
Hey, they're going to the championship.
They just might be.
I like that.
Dallas, the Dallas Wings, they are projected to draft Ari McDonald, a shooting guard from the University of Arizona.
All right.
Atlanta Dream drafting Awak Kuir, center from Finland.
Nice.
Wow, the WNBA is going international.
International, I like
Let's see. Now I'm just going to look at our hometown Minnesota Lynx. They don't have a first-round pick this year.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
That's tough. Damn.
Anybody else notable in the draft?
I know this chick from Rutgers is really good. She's projected to go to the Dallas Wing. Arella Guarantes. She's a shooting guard.
Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande.
She joined the WNBA draft?
I want to be very good in the WNBA.
I don't know.
Who's projected to go to the sky with my girl Courtney Vandersloot?
Dana Evans, shooting guard from Louisville.
Louisville.
Oh, no, right. The Lynx do a first-round pick. I went past them.
Oh.
The Minnesota Lynx are projected to draft Natasha Mack, a power forward from Oklahoma State. She is a 6'4", averaging 17 points a game and 12 rebounds. She had 96 block shots and was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Year. She doesn't shoot the three-pointer, but she does everything else pretty well.
She's this tall. Now, for you guys listening, I am just holding my arms out like a wingspan.
He's flexing his wingspan. Because he has a big wingspan. Brendan, how tall are you?
I am 5'10".
There you go. Wingspan doesn't matter.
Accurate.
I still have a reach of 9.
My wingspan's
9.6.
probably like 4.8.
All right, boys. Sorry to flex on all you. I gotta do it though.
That's probably like what?
Ben, you probably only have a 6'3" wingspan though.
It's got to be like 12 feet easy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely 12 feet.
Maybe 10.5 on a bad day.
That's if he doesn't stretch in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
WNBA. So when's the WNBA starting?
Don't know. Their draft is tomorrow.
Phenomenal.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to keep on the lookout for that.
I have more hockey news. I could not figure out that team.
And back to the NHL.
But the other big thing in news is, so we've been talking about like certain staff getting extended in the NFL.
Yes.
Like we might touch on that later, so I won't spoilers.
Yes.
The coach of the Chicago Blackhawks signed a 2-year extension, pretty much only because we made a postseason run-ish
Are we excited
from the
about
12
it?
seeds.
All right.
I don't think there's a cup for the next decade for the Hawks, but
PJ Tucker doesn't either.
that's just because we keep trading away all of our good players, like MVP runner-up Artemi Panarin.
Bread man.
And Tulo Teravainen, who played so good in Carolina.
Is Jonathan Toews still there?
Jonathan Toews is still on the team. So is Patrick Kane. Not to be confused with Evander Kane, who is bankrupt.
The lesser of the Canes in the NHL.
They're not related either.
They're not related.
Crimson. Well, go back to the NBA. The Knicks are looking good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a whole lot of Knicks basketball, if I'm being honest. I just assumed they would be bad, so I just choose not to watch the Knicks. They play the Nets tomorrow on ESPN.
Well, probably needs to know.
ESPN.
Celtics number 1. No surprise in the top 8, really. Hornets, actually, 6-5.
Yeah, LaMelo's playing pretty good.
LaMelo may be the better ball.
Youngest player to ever have a triple-double.
Yeah.
Some of these draft picks are actually panning out to be pretty decent. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo, Tyrese Maxey. Looking pretty solid.
Halbert something or something.
I'm going to play in an NBA game so I can get a triple-double.
All right, Josh Turner. See you later. Wait, how old is LaMelo? LaMelo's younger than you.
Is it?
Yeah, he's 19.
Oh, you missed me on that. Yeah.
August 22nd.
2001.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm old.
In the West, there's some cool things going on. The Suns are 7-4, actually.
Yeah, they're one of the more prolific offenses in the NBA with good old Chris Paul leading the charge.
I love it.
Yeah, they got good chemistry going. Devin Booker's looking really good as projected. This is a Suns team that might kind of be a dark horse the way things are looking.
A hot team?
They are pretty hot right now.
That was good. What now?
What's next on the list?
Moving on.
You know, computer thing.
That's true.
You just
True.
made the list.
You did just make the list. Moving on, the college football championship
Yeah.
was on last night. I fell asleep. It was 21-14. I was looking pretty good for my friends, the Ohio State. I fell asleep, and the team fell apart.
Oh, they knew you weren't watching them.
I know. I felt so bad.
Basically what happened is it was just crazy watching that whole game. It's like Alabama was so clearly the dominant team, but Ohio State capitalized on like one turnover, and they had a couple of quick plays, a couple of big plays. But even watching that game, it's like, the minute Ohio State doesn't answer, or the minute they just do something, they make a mistake, the floodgates are going to open for Alabama, and that's exactly what happened.
Ohio State, they did okay, though, at least in the first half. I mean,
Maybe more like the first quarter, because second quarter was all Alabama, and then by that point, it was just too far of a deficit to come back from, so it's just like pretty dominant performance by Alabama.
What do you think of Jalen Waddle playing? After reading about it, I was not, and seeing what he did, I don't think he should have even played.
I didn't hear about it. What happened?
So he wasn't supposed. So he should have just prepared for the draft.
Well,
But he came back and had 34 yards.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of iffy. I mean, I personally would have just, sat out, wait for the draft. But when you're a competitor like that and you go to an historic program like Alabama, like you want to feel like you're part of it, especially in college when you're not making money at that point. I think he kind of knows in the back of his head he's going to be a first-round pick. He's like, if I just have a good combine and a good pro day, my stock will rise.
that's fair. And he's probably sitting there like, all right, it's my last year.
It's my last year. It's my last game, and I want to be a part of this. I want to feel like I'm a part of this national title team. So, like, why not just play? Even though he didn't play great, but I guess he.
I'm sorry, LeBron threw it at that guy.
Yeah, I saw that, but obviously when you have a Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, who is straight gas right now, it's hard to get a lot of touches, especially when Sean Wade is ass cheeks, and he's now a second-round pick when he was a projected first-round pick going into the year.
What do you think? Because they had, what's his face? I can't even think.
John Brown.
No,
John Brown.
running backs.
Derrick Henry.
No,
For Alabama?
yeah.
Najee Harris is their starter.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that this game helped him?
Yes.
That's good.
It probably made him the first. It puts him in. It puts him in a really good running to be the first running back taken in the draft. I think Travis Etienne, in my opinion, is
better, but
I know. I guess they're both very different players.
that's fair.
Najee Harris is a faster version of Derrick Henry. So if you can imagine that seems kind of scary. Travis Etienne is just a really elusive back, really good in the backfield, and that probably makes him more valuable in draft stock. But I think with that performance by Najee Harris, and we're seeing the success of Derrick Henry now, and Alabama running backs in general, that might give Najee Harris that little bit of boost, especially dominating against a pretty good Ohio State defense, which was missing some starters. We have to accommodate for that. But even still, I mean, college football is weird like that. You lose one 5-star guy, you go on to the next 5-star guy you just recruited.
That's fair.
Even if they're younger, it's still a 5-star recruit.
Will either of these two running backs be drafted very highly, though?
I think we'll see at least one running back taken in the first round, and whichever one isn't will go very early in the second round, like very early.
I feel like, I don't know, it might be me, recently there hasn't been, teams haven't been going all out for the running back.
No, and you don't need to anymore, but I think if you're a team that has it pretty all complete, or if you're a team that feels like you don't need as much or whatever.
Like Kansas City last year?
Like Kansas City last year. You feel like you have it all kind of figured out and stuff, so let's just make our offense more explosive.
Best guy available?
Best guy, yeah, exactly. Best guy available, and just go get a good running back. If they're not first-round picks, they're very early second-round picks. Because they both hold a lot of great value in the second round.
Yeah.
Nice indeed.
College football's over already.
It is that season, and it's crazy. The Super Bowl's in 3 weeks. I don't know where this year has gone, guys. It's been a cruddy year, but football has gotten us through it. It's gotten me through it.
Yeah, you're talking about football. There's some football things going on right now.
There is.
The Texans.
The Houston Texans is one of the most dysfunctional organizations in sports. Don't have it.
They may have just destroyed their franchise for the next 20 years.
Their last head coach and GM was incompetent.
Yep.
There is always drama in the locker room. Their best players either want to leave or are being held ransom for 3 first-round picks.
Yep.
Has that Texans aren't a very old team.
No.
Has that organization ever been somewhat
I mean,
they made the
playoffs. But that's about the only success they've had.
You have J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson to hope he make the playoffs.
Well, even before that, there was when they had Arian Foster and
they went 8-8 a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, they made the playoffs quite a few times. Granted, their division.
Here's your pop quiz of the day. Who was the first quarterback to start for the Texans in a playoff game?
David Carr.
It was not David Carr.
Matt Schaub.
Not Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler.
It was not Brock Osweiler.
The first quarterback to start for the Texans?
Yes. I know the answer to this. I don't think you guys will get it.
I don't.
It's T.J. Yates.
Whoa. That's a throwback.
Yeah, he replaced an injured Matt Schaub, and he actually won.
Oh!
He won his first playoff game.
I like that.
That's
a nice one, though.
He did.
He got one. That's more than Taylor Haneke can say.
He
played good.
He was
all right.
He did play good.
He did play good.
He didn't play as good as some people may be saying. I don't think he's a starting quarterback. But
I think he has the potential to be a quarterback that stays on Washington next year.
I think he.
I definitely think he is. I think he's a. We'll get to that later.
Football team should get Gardner Minshew.
That would be funny.
I think it would work.
So Andre Johnson tweeted the other day. And he called out the Texans organization. And this is important. Andre Johnson is not only just a player from the Texans, he's such a big part. He's had coaching roles and office roles for the team. He was selected to be part of their GM and head coach search. So Andre Johnson he's one of the most important people to the Texans franchise. He called him out on Twitter. He said, Deshaun Watson, don't take any of this. Hold your ground. And you saw DeAndre Hopkins mention something about it. A lot of former Texans players mentioned about it.
Kenny Stills, Kenny Jackson.
So I have a dumb question. What did what's his name? Forward for the Warriors.
John Brown.
Part of the trio. Draymond Green. Remember when tampering? Never mind. I answered my own question by figuring out his name. Couldn't DeAndre Hopkins couldn't they all get hit with tampering?
Technically, no, because they're not.
He tweeted something about it?
Because they're tweeting, trying to provoke Deshaun Watson to leave.
Well, I think, did DeAndre Hopkins tweet that, or did he just kind of call out the Texans?
He retweeted Andre Johnson.
And he said, when Dre speak,
you
listen.
Yeah, because obviously Andre Johnson can't get called for tampering because he's not in the league.
Because Kareem Jackson retweeted it. He's on the Broncos.
Yeah.
DJ Reader, I don't know if he's on a team.
Yes, he is.
What team is he on?
He was on a team that he played this last weekend.
Okay. He's a playoff player. He said, no cap. Kenny Stills is also a player. He retweeted it.
DJ Reader plays for the Bandits.
Oh, that was kind of
different.
And then D-Hop. So I don't think you can. What are they tampering?
They're trying to provoke.
Well, I feel like it's tampering. I feel like it's tampering if you're trying to get that person to play for
you. Yeah.
And I don't.
You just want.
Is tampering even a thing in the NFL?
I feel like it is.
I've
never heard of an NFL player getting called for tampering.
I don't know. I just was curious because Draymond just said that Devin Booker should leave the Suns. And that was enough to cause for tampering. That's why I was just curious.
Yeah, the NBA is kind of a different animal, though.
Because they actually have a good commissioner?
What? Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Texans are in trouble. I just hope that Deshaun Watson leaves. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
I believe in the philosophy. They need to cut ties. They need to fire. They need to clean house for coaches and staff. They need to trade Deshaun Watson. They need to trade J.J. Watt. They need to start over. This kind of good, kind of not good bullshit where the team's fighting all the time and people are sitting. That's not going to work.
Right.
You're going to tread water there. They might win 8 games. Oh, they won 8 games. They get the 15th draft pick. They need to go full send either direction.
That's fair.
And Deshaun Watson said he'll hold out if he doesn't get traded.
I love that.
He said he's contemplated, and he said he's leaning towards if his agent said he wouldn't sit out if he doesn't get traded. Good on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I would expect that from him because Deshaun Watson's such a nice guy, and he doesn't give that. But I guess the support of all his former teammates and all that, and you could get. Oh, excuse me.
When you're rebuilding Deshaun Watson, you could get a package and a half for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, a team could build their whole team around Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson could be the future for any NFL team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's only there's only maybe a few teams that I can think of where I wouldn't trade for Deshaun Watson.
I would not like the Packers straight for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, if I'm teams like Green Bay, I wouldn't. Kansas City, I wouldn't. Buffalo, I wouldn't. Chargers, I wouldn't.
And if a team has a competent quarterback, they probably don't need to trade for him.
The thing is, even if you have let's say you're a team like the Broncos. Oh, fair. Or let's see, what's another?
The Rams.
The Broncos were
I know. Well, the only way that could potentially work is if it was a Deshaun for Jared Goff trade. Why would you take that?
I don't know. They throw in first-round picks.
Throw in Aaron
What
Donald.
first-round picks?
It's the Rams.
Yeah, they don't have them.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have a first-round pick this year, but unless we want to give up our
he's not going to stay in the team.
What do you mean? He loves it in LA. He literally talks about it all the time. He loves it.
Yeah.
Yes. I follow the man on Instagram.
I don't know if I've seen a more happy team player.
No, yeah. Because here's the thing, too. That's a side note. Remember when Jalen Ramsey was an ass in Jacksonville?
Complete switch.
Yeah, complete 180 because he actually loves it in Los Angeles.
Jared Goff, Robert Woods, and a first-round pick in 2022.
No, that's not enough for Deshaun Watson.
I would send that trade. I love Robert Woods, but we have Cooper Kupp. We drafted Van Jefferson. We already have Josh Reynolds. We can draft another receiver. It's a really stacked wide receiver class.
And the wide receiver 2 is an easy position to fill.
Yes.
Just sign Juju.
No! I want Juju to go to a team I like.
The Broncos?
I'd love Juju on the Broncos, but he'd be a third-string receiver.
That's because Juju is, at best, a third-string receiver.
No, he's not.
This is also the same man that thinks Stephon Diggs is below average when he's a top 5 receiver in football.
Facts. Glad you brought that back.
Nah, see, what
I keep my receipts.
is Josh Allen is just that good of a quarterback.
Oh, get that bullshit out. Stop it. Yes, Josh Allen is very good, but that's not why Stephon Diggs is succeeding. Get that BS out of here.
Anyway.
Get that shit out of my house.
The Texans is a mess.
Yeah.
Yes, the Texans are rough.
There's another mess going on in the NFL, though, with the Eagles.
They fired Doug Peterson.
So happy about
I was also so happy about it. Finally, yeah.
Wow. At the end, I saw things that are like, Doug Peterson's got to try to get fired at this point, right?
Yeah, and he did.
He did. It was all based on how he had a meeting with the owner, and the owner was kind of thinking about it, and they said the meeting went horrible.
Basically, Doug Peterson was like, I don't like that.
Well,
Stop talking all this shit.
Right, Doug Peterson was basically just bitching and moaning about how I don't like being told what to do. I don't like that I'm getting ridiculed for being bad.
It's your guys' problem, not mine.
Now, here's the interesting conversation. Where does that lead the Eagles QB situation?
Exactly, because it depends. I think it depends.
See,
on
now that he's gone, maybe now you can rekindle that relationship between the organization and Carson Wentz if you so wanted to. I don't think they should. I still think they should trade Carson Wentz and just, like Ben said, if you're going full send, trade everyone, trade Darius Slay, trade Fletcher Cox.
That Zach Ertz isn't going to be on the team.
Yeah, exactly. Just get rid of everybody. You're already going to be insanely over the cap anyway. Eagles are another team that are in a really tough cap situation. So just trade everybody, start fresh. Maybe if you can coax Lincoln Riley to come out of Oklahoma, that'll be awesome for Jalen Hurts, because obviously Jalen Hurts played at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. This is such a sloppy basketball game. But I mean, who cares? It's a blowout. But
it's your cousin.
That is family. That is my cousin. Let's go, Alex. Do it to him, Alex. But yeah, go all in on One Direction. What's that?
The One Direction song. You said One Direction.
If that's what in order to make the Eagles beautiful, they have to go One Direction.
Oh, you made it work.
But yeah, and the thing is I don't even really think that Jalen Hurts is your future. I really don't. I think the Eagles should just draft a QB this year. I do. I understand that there's a lot of holes they need to fix on that team. Draft a quarterback. Get a new head coach, an offensive-minded head coach.
I heard the Seattle.
The offensive coordinator who's just fired.
And then Seattle said it was for philosophical differences.
Yeah, because Pete Carroll didn't want to run the ball more, and what's his face, Brian whatever, was running the offense as pass first, but Pete Carroll likes to run the football.
Even though they
have Russell Wilson.
And Chris Carson was out for half the season, basically.
Right.
Yeah, it's a dumb reason to let him go, but
I see no reason why he can't apply for head coaching jobs.
I think he should.
Well, and the thing is it looks a little more justifiable after they just laid a dud against the LA Rams.
It's
but
true, but
it makes
not
it
on him.
No, well, not necessarily, but I mean, obviously, as an offensive coach, you have to make adjustments, and they failed to make the proper adjustments. But that's also on Pete Carroll too, because you're the head coach of the team.
He's just trying to save his ass.
Right.
Couple more years.
Speaking of head coaching candidates in that whole roulette, didn't the Jets have a finalist for head coach?
seen that.
I have not, but I know they want to interview Doug Peterson.
I did know that as well. I was like, it's not Doug Peterson already, is it?
No.
Jacksonville is just awaiting an answer on Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
They said it's up to him if he wants to be the Jaguars coach.
So,
which is really
you know what'd be funny, though?
It is interesting.
If Doug Peterson becomes coach of the Jets, and then the Eagles end up hiring Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles is a contender for the Eagles coach.
Yes.
I actually think that would be a pretty solid hire. It would help their defense a lot.
Todd Bowles was the coach for the Jets before Adam Gase.
He was, and he wasn't a terrible coach. He just had a terrible roster.
Not only do they have a finalist, some people think this guy's already off the market because the Jets are finalizing a deal with him. It's Robert Saleh?
Robert Saleh?
Yeah,
the coordinator for the Niners. Get him out of the division.
How is that not by everybody?
Goodbye, Robert Saleh. I will not miss you.
High key, though. Do you know who I think San Francisco hired for the DC spot?
Who?
Matt Patricia.
Might as well.
Fuck it. Go get Matthew Patricia.
He's the assembler of top 10 defenses for...
Unless your name is the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, unless you're located
as a DC, he's the assembler of top 10 defenses for over a decade.
Well, to be fair, a lot of that has to do with Bill Belichick. But, I get what you're saying. He is a good D coordinator.
But he just couldn't be a D coordinator as well as be
he's just not a good leader of men. He's just not a good coach. He couldn't connect with the players. That's a big thing in the NFL. You have to connect with players. Fair or not, that's how it is in professional sports, period.
Yeah. Chuck Pagano retired.
I did see that.
We kind of were having a heated argument in group chat whether or not he was a good head coach.
And I think he was a good coach. I'm not saying he's great.
I think Chuck Pagano was a good coach, but burnt out from coaching.
That's fair.
Being a head coach.
That is so fair.
Took a step down, played DC, and kept a Bears defense good.
Yeah, and even before the Colts, he has success as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he's probably not the best coach of all time, but I actually was trying to find a good comparison to Ethan.
Yeah.
Look up, and I got distracted. But I was comparing him to Mike Zimmer, and he doesn't have that much of a difference coaching record.
To be fair, Ethan has been out on Mike Zimmer for the past 3 years.
That's true, but if you said if you asked Ethan as a whatever, is he a good coach in general? Is he a good coach? You'd probably say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But good for him. Congrats on retiring.
Yeah, he beat cancer.
Yeah.
Some other things.
How's Bears cancer doing?
He beat it.
Kicked his ass.
Got rid of it during the season.
Yeah, and he still coached.
Yeah.
And he led him to a division title.
Exactly. We talked about Seattle parting ways.
Yeah.
They also signed Mr. John Snyder, who was getting talks to moving to some other GM spot.
I feel like the Broncos were on that list.
They were, but we didn't want him. John Snyder signed a new extension through 2027 with Seattle. Just 4 hours before they fire their offensive coordinator. Kind of weird, but...
He got signed, and he was like, all right, the first thing I'm going to do in my extension, get that man out of here.
Yep.
Get that son of a bitch off the field. He's fired.
Gus Bradley was hired as the OC for... Or the defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, what was the deal with that? He just went from
I don't know.
a DC to one team to a DC for another team.
Yeah.
And they just offer more money.
They had to. I don't know.
He got fired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
Seattle
that.
didn't like him. I thought he got fired.
He was on the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got fired after the time.
Oh, with Anthony Lynn and the whole crew? That makes sense.
Complete clean house.
I'm all for it. I fully support it.
Fire one, fire them, fire them all.
Clean houses.
Ben wants every team but the Packers to clean house. That way he can just
They did
2
clean
years
house.
ago, we did clean house.
They did.
No, Aaron Rodgers is still on the team.
Look at him drop Justin Herbert. I mean, coaching staff.
Notice how Brandon got so passionate about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of our offensive coordinator, did have an interview. He's saying I'm happy to have an interview with the Falcons, but he doesn't seem like he's the Falcons' first choice, which is good.
Good, because
I want to stay.
he can stay.
I know the Rams DC is getting a lot of coaching carousels. And
Oh yeah, I saw that.
it's looking like he's not number one option for people, which again, bless, because I love him and I want him on my team next year.
Dan Quinn got a job as Dallas defensive coordinator.
Didn't Dallas also hire a defensive coordinator?
Okay, again, solid signing as a DC.
Who was it? I'm sorry.
Dan Quinn.
Head coach.
Former Falcons head coach.
Yeah, as a DC, good. Again, I just feel like, oh God.
Some people aren't meant to be coaches.
Right. Well, and the thing is, though, is I think he was meant to be a head coach. Was a good head coach. It's just, I just don't think that city, that franchise,
His time ran out there.
No, I literally don't think that franchise has been the same since 28-3. Like, legitimately, it doesn't matter who they bring in or who they bring out. That city, that franchise will always just be cursed and just stuck in 28-3.
Haven't they missed the playoffs every year since then?
No, they made the playoffs the next year.
And they missed them following two?
Yes, correct. Because they beat the Rams the next year in Sean McVay's first year, which I was very upset about, but I'm not totally upset because I was like, hell yeah. Then next year we went to the Super Bowl, and we also lost the Patriots.
It should have been the Saints.
It should not have been the Saints, but that's not a con. That's
a better game.
Would have been a lot better game.
I disagree. I think it would have been
Patriots still would have won, though.
We'll see. It would have been watchable, though. Like, it wasn't.
Well, honestly, though, can you really here's what I say about that. The Saints' defense at the time was better than the Rams' defense, and they still would have gone up against the same Patriots' offense. Just saying. Which also didn't play well. Everyone always acts like it was like, oh, the Rams played the worst. Yeah, you realize the Patriots played that same game and barely won, right?
That's because that's what Tom Brady does.
But no, and I understand. But the two teams played that in that Super Bowl, not just one. And we were an insane play from. Well, here we were an underthrown ball from Jared Goff and a really bad interception away from winning that game. So, but again, I'm over it. It's whatever. We got the Packers this week. It should be a fun game.
Final thing before we get to talk about the playoffs this last weekend. Anthony Costanzo decided he's going to hang it up.
He did not play there very long.
10 years.
10 years, another.
Same as Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Did he also play 10 years?
I thought he played 12.
Another Colts guy to retire early. That franchise just can't catch a break.
Yeah, like they're always so close, and then just another thing happens to set them back.
Right, because now it's like, oh, we got the quarterback, but we don't have the left tackle to protect him. Even though the rest of our offensive line is really good, we don't have the left tackle.
Joe Thomas technically played 11 seasons.
That's right, because he got hurt in his 11th season. That was the only time he missed the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
He never played the Browns, which makes me sad. I wish he was on his Browns team.
Yeah.
He should have came back.
Should have.
Like week 12, they should have been
The
there.
Browns would have liked it. They'd be like, all right,
Come on. We'll let you in.
The issue was once he got out of the NFL, he dropped so much weight.
He did. He looked good.
They could have him play running back. They could have him play receiver.
They could have him play tight end.
There you go, tight end.
Because he still has big arms.
Yeah, that's playoffs happened.
They did the first round.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the first game
between
Colts, Mafia
Bills?
and Colts. But I did see that it was closer than it should have been.
Both the 3 and the 4 season lost in both conferences.
Interesting.
The 2 seed won, and both of those were the 6 and 7 seed.
That's awesome, actually.
Go sports. Go football.
Go sports.
Go sports. But, yeah, so that Bills game was weird. It looked like it was going to be dominated by Buffalo. Josh Allen played a solid game, except he had a couple of bad turnovers, which almost cost him the game, but it's whatever. The
Colts defense is good.
Colts defense is young and quite good. I think the Bills got a little bit exposed, especially on the running attack, which is going to be a problem against Baltimore. But,
You don't need to run it.
Huh?
You don't need to run it.
Why?
Because they're going to want the box anyways.
Okay, so you just...
Well, it also just doesn't help that they lost Zach Moss early in that game.
Yeah.
So they weren't a three threat. They weren't a triple threat.
Freeman will be back this week.
True.
He's on the practice squad.
Yeah, but running the ball isn't the Bills' MO. That's just...
No, it's not.
It's just not. The defense, I think, is the biggest worry because the Bills put up enough points to win that football game. I think a couple I can't even say a couple of missed throws. I thought Josh Allen threw the ball quite effectively. I just think he had a couple of bad turnovers. Well, fumbled the ball once, he fumbled the ball twice, lost it once. So I think cleaning that up will make a difference. But also, like, this is a Colts team that, this is a Colts team I think we all agree that should not have been slept on, should have been respected a little bit. So they beat a good football team, like a good football team. And they're going to have to beat another really good one next week if they want to advance to the AFC title game. But congrats to Bills Mafia, though. I was very happy for them. They deserve that.
The second game this weekend, Seattle.
Yes, sir.
We're shocked.
Didn't watch that game.
Not really shocked, but
really shocked though.
No,
they struggled for the last 3 or 4 weeks going.
Yeah,
they almost lost the San Fran.
That's
was
true.
Week 17.
Yeah, almost lost to the Jets.
To be fair, San Fran beat the Rams. So
well,
Jets also beat the Rams.
Yes, and now we're in the second round, about to play the Packers.
About to get blown out.
To the Jets.
Who did not lose to the Jets?
No.
Oh.
Glad John Warford is okay after.
Yeah, that kind of made me upset. I thought Jared Goff, though, as the game got... Oh, nice, Alex. As the game went along, Jared Goff started to play a lot better, which was a really good thing to see, and it gives me enough confidence to go into Green Bay next week and give us a shot at winning. But our defense, I'm solely convinced our defense is good enough to beat anybody in the NFL.
I'm pretty sure... I know that's not who the starter was, but I think Warford got more first-team reps today.
I didn't even know he was back in practice. I know Sean McVay said that honestly, I would start Wolford because this is what it does. The Packers don't have a lot of film on Wolford, like at all. They have a game and a quarter, not even a full quarter. A game.
4 minutes until he got knocked out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like the first few drives even. So, and what he brings is he's does not have as strong of an arm as Jared Goff, but he's super mobile, which could really help against the Green Bay Packers, who, even though this isn't a fully true narrative, they struggle with the run defense, even though I feel like that narrative is kind of worn out at this point. It's their weakest part of their defense, but it's still a solid defense, obviously. But obviously, the things won't be as available through the air because Green Bay's secondary is really good. Cam Akers is going to have the game of his life because as long as he's running the ball well, actually not even him in general, we just need to run the ball effectively as a team. Keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers, keep him watching the game on the sideline, keep our defense rested because our defense is what's going to win us this football game if we do.
As a team, the Rams need to just be
with the steal.
Dalvin Cook.
Montrez.
That's all they need to do.
What's that? I'm sorry.
As a team, the Rams need to just be Dalvin Cook. Because Dalvin Cook single-handedly beat the whole...
Thank you. We'll go find our Dalvin Cook in a minute. We'll just tell Cam Akers. No, I know what you mean, though.
I'm just saying, with a mobile quarterback, with 3 running backs that all...
Run the ball well.
Yes, and I'm blanking. Which one's the receiving back?
Who's like the better receiving back of them? Well, Cam Akers.
Okay, so Cam Akers.
Cam Akers is our number 1 running back.
Well, I saw a thing that was interesting. I don't know if it will really play an effect or not, but because of COVID, the Rams aren't flying into, I think, Saturday morning because they can't. They're not practicing.
Actually, they practice.
Well, they're practicing Friday, which would be the normal last day of practice. And the high in California is 85, and then they're gonna go and they're gonna land on Saturday in Lambeau with the high is 19.
But it's not supposed to snow, though. I will throw that in there.
It's not supposed to snow.
Yes,
which I'm very excited about.
So the Rams play in SoFi Stadium, right?
Yeah. They play at SoFi Stadium.
What type of stadium is SoFi?
It's an indoor stadium.
Bump the AC.
They practice outside. They don't practice in SoFi.
Practice in SoFi.
Practice in a freezer.
Bump up the AC.
Listen, this is what you need to do. Go in a freezer. Like those meat shells or whatever. Stack them in. Those are defenders. Have Cam Akers just cruise through those things. That's how you practice this week. And Sean McVay has said Aaron Donald is good to go.
That's good.
That is good, because without Aaron Donald, we would be fucked. But
Yeah.
Top-rated center in the league versus a top-rated defensive tackle in the league.
that will be a fun matchup.
Yes, it will. To be
I
fair,
will give the edge to Donald, but that's because I give Donald the edge over everybody.
That's fair.
Because he's earned that right. But that would be a fun matchup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good matchups in that Packers-Rams game.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that later, because we'll go. Well, I guess we're technically talking about it, I guess, because we brought up the Rams. But, there's a lot of good matchups in that game. Devontae Adams versus Jalen Ramsey, number one offense versus number one defense. That Packers offensive line versus our Rams defensive line, which is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL.
Packers is probably one of the best. Is actually the best offensive line.
Yeah, they're the best offensive line in the NFL, and we're probably the best defensive line in the NFL.
What?
Even without Dave?
I've seen Aaron Donald go through
That's pretty awesome.
a triple team.
Well, and here's the thing. Obviously, not having Dave Bakhtiari, I think, will make a big difference in this game against a very good Rams defense. I mean, not saying Valdir is a bad player by any means, but the Bills' defense and the Rams' defense are a little bit different. Going against Leonard Floyd, who's been a baller this year, that's where it might play a factor.
To be fair, though, we played both of our games against the Bears without David Bakhtiari, and we only allowed one sack in both those games. So Khalil Mack got him once,
Right.
which Khalil Mack obviously is a really good edge defender. He's a really good pass rusher on the
Yes.
edge. So,
But you could also argue if Valdir is the one that starts, not a lot of practice.
Valdir's on the Packers before the Colts.
He was on. Wait, so Valdir was on.
Originally on the Packers.
Went to the Colts and is back on the
Back on
Packers.
the Packers. But we might have, it could be Valdir, it could be Billy Turner, it could be Ricky Wagner, because Elton James haven't been playing left tackle, but they're probably going to move him inside next to Corey Lindsey for
That
Aaron
makes sense.
Donald.
That makes sense.
And then they're going to put Valdir or Billy Turner probably. Because Billy Turner played left tackle while David Bakhtiari was out before the playoffs. So they'll probably put him back at left tackle.
15?
Yeah.
That's Montrezl Harrell.
No, other team.
Oh, Bogey.
It's Boogie.
Oh, Boogie.
That's what I was trying to see.
No, it's gonna be. I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be an okay game.
It's gonna be.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be fun.
Rams are going to win.
Rams are not going to win. But
I think it's gonna be a lot like the national championships. It's gonna be really, really close.
No, it will not.
Packers are just gonna start running away with it.
It will not be like that.
yeah,
Vegas is giving
okay.
us respect. We're only 6.5 point underdogs. I love that.
Yeah,
number.
I saw that because I saw the line for Cleveland.
I don't like
Kansas
it.
City.
Oh my god, that's -10. That is insane.
I was like-
Bet on the Browns.
I am betting on the Browns this weekend.
When I saw that, I was
I
like,
never thought I'd say that, by the way.
when I saw
my
that,
lifetime.
I was like, well, they probably made the Packers-Rams game the same line. It's like only -6.5. I'm like,
That
what
is
the hell?
definitely a game to stay away from.
Yeah, I will bet that game. I don't know which direction I want to go with it, though, because, like, my gut instinct tells me Rams will cover. But is that my gut telling me that, or is that my heart telling me that?
What does the line mean?
Okay, so basically that number is basically what they're not like projected to win by, but what that number means is like if you bet the over. So for example, Kansas City is -10 against Cleveland. If you bet Kansas City and for the over, the Kansas City has to win by 10 or more points for you to win money. If you bet Cleveland to cover, they either have to win outright or lose by 10 or less points. Because basically what that number means, in a head-to-head, who do you give the advantage of points to? So for they basically are giving they think Kansas City is 10 points better than Cleveland, which is a big number in Vegas.
As a rule, if it's like 8 or more,
That's
typically
insane.
you want to go with the under.
You want to go under because that's an insane amount of points for Vegas standards.
Does it really matter though? Because can you not do a lot of sports betting here in South Dakota?
You can. I go to what's that one in Iowa? Just right down the road.
That's Great Falls.
Grand Falls. I just go to Grand Falls and they let you.
Oh,
you gamble. No, it's actually right. So fun fact. I'm 10 minutes away from the Iowa border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know that. I was like going to the casino for the first time. All I do, I know you guys know this, but I didn't know this. I went down on 10th Street and I was there in like 20 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
You're not down 12 in Minnesota, are you?
No, well, that I know because I'm from Minnesota.
Are you?
I am.
Whoa.
Didn't know that, no. Just kidding.
But yeah, we're pretty close.
But yeah, but you can bet there no matter where you're no matter where you are from.
What a selfie, bro. What else happened? Tom Brady won his first wild card game.
Barely,
but he won it. Taylor Heineke
Played good.
played. I think he won a job there. I don't want to say. I think Alex Smith would still be the starter over him if Alex Smith stays.
I mean,
But
I don't see why he couldn't be. There's no reason for a football team not to sign him. You give him a minimum.
right,
He's a young guy. He played good in this game. If you sign him next year and he looks good, start him. Why not? Like, what's
I guess.
No, literally sign him, start him at worst case scenario, he's a bridge guy for your franchise guy, or best case scenario, he builds off that really good performance against Tampa and is your franchise guy. That's best case scenario.
Because he went in and he played. He'd been on the football team for less than a month, and he went in and played that good. Like he literally on December 8th, he was getting ready to go take his final.
Yeah, I saw that story.
And they called him up, and he got down to Washington. I don't know.
He had to email his professor and like explain the situation to him.
Hey, can I go play against the Bucks in the playoff real quick?
Hope he had good professors.
He did. He said the professors were really cool about it.
That's good. But I think football team they have a chance in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I think the NFC East, especially, there's going to be a big power grab here because the Eagles don't know what they're doing at quarterback.
Right.
The Cowboys, is Dak Prescott coming back? Are they not coming back?
Right.
The Giants are the Giants. I don't know. I think the football team, if they can put themselves in a position to be that next division leader for the next couple of years.
Yeah, honestly, they have a great defense to build off around. They have a very good head coach. Obviously they need more pieces on offense. Like if they get another receiver to complement Terry McLaurin,
That'd be probably good.
I think they have a solid running back committee with J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson. That's a solid running back committee.
I think Antonio Gibson's
They need to beef up the O line and they need to get a franchise quarterback.
Does the football team have money?
Yes.
I guess I don't know.
Are they top 5?
They're pretty
I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of their guys are young guys.
Who are they paying?
Me.
No.
Brandon Sheriff?
That's probably it.
That's probably it, right?
And he's worth every penny.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best offensive players.
He's one of the best offensive linemen, period.
Scary Terry's probably on a rookie deal. Antonio Gibson's a rookie deal. No way.
Well, Antonio Gibson is a rookie this year.
There's no way J.D. McKisson's making that much money.
No.
Neither is Alex Smith.
They're number 5.
Washington's 5th in the NFL in catch. So, power move. They sway Dak Prescott to Washington. What happened? But that would be beautiful.
They get Deshaun Watson.
Who would they trade? Well, what would they trade? They don't have the trade value.
Picks! That's what the Texans want!
That's what they
They
want.
only
Picks.
have 1 first round this year.
Then give them multiple seconds and your next year's first.
They only have 1 second.
Then give them your third, and then give them next
Give
year's.
them whatever they want.
Yeah. What do you want? We'll give it to you.
Sheriff and a first this year and a first next year?
I'll take that.
Shit.
Why not?
Boom.
But then I wouldn't want Deshaun Watson to play behind that line.
Well, then they just need to bolster their line. They go.
Yeah, because they got
Some free agents.
Go get some free agents.
Is there free agent cards?
I'm sure you can find somebody. I don't know.
Here, I will.
Somebody. I don't know. You can find good
You're trading your picks away.
You can find good offensive linemen in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds
Okay, let me look at NFL free agents.
for 2021.
I didn't realize how much the Packers are fucked this offseason cap-wise.
Packers aren't actually that bad.
$22 million in the hole.
That's not that bad. We're just not going to resign Aaron Jones.
Where do the Rams sit at? I'm just curious. I just want to be sad.
$22 million in the hole. Oh, a little
Actually,
less.
that's not as bad. Wait, the Rams are 22 million in the hole? That is not as bad as I expected. I'm actually a happy camper.
Bengals number 6. No, Jags are number 1.
Okay. So here, I'm looking up offensive line free agents for 2021. Some of the top guys.
Is that Patriots guy, Joe whatever?
Joe Tooney's a free agent.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Okung.
He was just a free agent last year.
I mean, ironically, Brandon Sheriff's supposed to be a free agent.
Doesn't work.
Sign and trade. Joe Tooney, Trent Williams, but that's Mike Pouncey, Corey Linsley.
Pouncey is
Are they extended Corey Linsley yet? Can they afford him?
Yeah, Pouncey's retiring.
Oh, tough.
Well, that's why they had that whole moment with Big Ben and Pouncey.
Oh, that actually kind of made me sad. Not gonna lie. I was just saying. I don't know if you guys saw that video of Big Ben apologizing to him, and he was crying. That actually made me sad because I
sitting there calling his own quarterback.
Yeah, Juju walks up and is like, "Yo, you guys trying to get on Fortnite later tonight?" But do you guys have the money to sign Corey Linsley? Do you think? No. It depends on.
It's going to come down to, because we're many free agents. It's going to come down to, if we're keeping Corey Linsley, we're probably not keeping Aaron Jones. And it's going to be probably one or the other.
Which,
I don't think Kevin King is probably coming back. I like Kevin King.
But
he's hurt a lot. But I like
But Corey Linsley would be such a big loss for you guys.
Yeah.
He's the best center in the NFL.
But our O-line has played great this year. We did draft 3 interior offensive linemen last year.
I was just going to say, I kind of forgot you guys. See, now kind of looking back on, now that A.J. Dillon's kind of getting more carries, man, maybe they were just trying to get a year ahead of side. Maybe they're just you know what, this is our Super Bowl window.
It's now the first ultimate plan. He knew the Caps moved 5 next year. He's trying to get a year ahead.
Yeah. And then this year it's okay, well, you know what, this is we believe we can win a Super Bowl this year. So let's go win a Super Bowl this year because I think they're still my pick to win the spoiler. They're still my pick to win the Super Bowl as of right now.
It to the Super Bowl.
They're
not even making it to next week.
I hope you're right.
Because next week the Rams are going to lose to the Bucks. Big spoilers.
Oh, what? I'm sad.
I would be so down for football. It was fucking Rams, Bucks, and NFC playoffs.
I would love it. Leave me alone.
Well, you would hate my Super Bowl then.
Tom Brady would probably win.
Shut up.
And it'd be fucking Brady in the fucking Super Bowl again.
At home, too. It would be a home Super Bowl for
losing
Tampa.
Losing to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, there we go. All would be forgiven if Cleveland won the Super Bowl.
I hope that happens.
God, the football gods would not allow it, but God, that'd be lovely.
Ravens.
What's up, Brendan? You're
you ever feel like you have to pee, but you're not sure?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
The Ravens shut down Derrick Henry.
Yes.
40 yards.
Yes.
Yeah, and I brought up. So everybody was regarding Derrick Henry as the greatest of all time, all this, that, right?
He's the best running back in the league. But
Yes.
What happened in the playoffs?
Well, everyone has a bad game.
He had a bad game. Just lay off a little
he
bit.
plays on a one-dimensional football team.
Stop hyping Derrick Henry. Let Derrick Henry be Derrick Henry without telling me about it every 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
But he ran for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, do you see who he played?
Your point.
He ran for 2,000 yards, but I mean, he had an easier path to run 2,000 yards than other running backs did.
Well, to be fair, Dalvin Cook would have been right up there with him if he would have played the last 2 games. And his offense wouldn't have gotten hurt, and his offensive line's significantly worse than Tennessee's.
Dalvin Cook got hurt?
That's a little bit of a shock.
No.
Dalvin Cook is cracked though.
But glad the Ravens won that game. No handshaking.
I was happy for that. Was
through the logo.
Yes,
to the locker room.
That was classic playoff football. No, yo, bro, respect for you, bro. Give me that jersey, bro.
I hated that. I want the Ravens to put their basketball now this week.
I don't.
Did you? By the way, funny thing with Tampa, I don't know why I thought it was really funny, but Chase Young went up to Tom Brady and they dapped up each other. And he was like, "Yo, bro, I need one favor out of you. I need to get this off of you." I don't know why, but I feel like the way he said that was just really funny. Yo, I need a favor out of you. I need to get this off of you.
Got it right.
What?
You got it.
They can exchange on the field, but they are swapping. The tie, yes. Peyton Manning will deliver a Tom Brady jersey to Chase Young.
Peyton Manning for that one.
Oh,
Peyton Manning delivering a Tom Brady Bucs jersey to Chase Young on the Washington football team after a playoff game. 2020 would be wild.
Yeah.
2020 is simply not built like anyone else.
Mitch Trubisky won the Nickelodeon MVP.
What?
Let's go! 64% of the vote.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky won the MVP.
All three of the top votes were
Bears players, yep.
No, Cameron Jordan was the third.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, who was number 4 was a Bears player. Because there's 3 Bears players on the list. But, Mitch won MVP, guys.
Mitch has more individual trophies than Drew Brees.
He won't be making it to the in the next round of the playoffs. Sadly, something happened
He's
there.
gonna be a free agent.
He's gonna become the next Broncos quarterback, and I'm gonna love it.
No.
He would not change my opinion if he was on the Broncos. I would still think of him as highly as I do.
But Drew Lock's better.
He is.
This is true, and that's not saying.
Drew Lock, Mitch Trubisky.
Hear me out, Mr.
Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, look who you're playing
Mitch
against.
Trubisky.
Hell, if you want to do this, Trubisky, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. That's what you're playing against in that division.
Hey, we're not going nowhere.
True.
Go to 8-year run, yes.
What?
I will
Trubisky to the football team.
Oh, Jesus.
love it.
I would just like the football team.
I just hope Mitch gets a job somewhere.
He'll get a backup role somewhere.
Oh, yeah, we always be calling that.
I didn't say a backup job. I want Mitch on
The Rams could use, well, depending on how John Wolford pans out. I mean,
Kirk Cousins needs a backup, probably.
True.
And I couldn't tell you who the other Minnesota quarterback.
I don't like Minnesota.
It's always
Christian Powder.
his first name is Taylor.
Heineke?
Taylor.
No.
Tyrod Taylor?
No.
Yo, is Tyrod gonna get another starting job?
No.
Probably not.
I'd be surprised.
Tyrod's been cheated on every single starting game.
It has, but the problem is, though, is that the quarterbacks that he's, like, coached up, I guess, have been amazing.
There you go.
I mean, for a bridge year, maybe.
Better than Mason.
They could probably make the playoffs.
They made it with Big Ben. Is Tyrod that much worse than Big Ben?
I mean, I guess in theory, no.
Tyrod is better than Big Ben.
Over Tyrod.
No.
For a whole season, I'd pick Tyrod. I think Big Ben's going to shatter into a million pieces. He just can't turn to dust.
I guess, but Tyrod Taylor's just not a flashy, big play guy, which is what Pittsburgh kind of builds off of in the passing game.
Roethlisberger did have like 500 yards in the game, though.
He did. He had the most completions in an NFL game history.
Gotta give him respect for that.
True.
But
Big Ben is the worst Drew Brees. Don't have him.
I mean, but Big Ben is still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's true.
Big Ben has more Super Bowls than Drew Brees.
But yeah, we are there. We are to the game. Corvette. Browns
28 points in the first.
are moving on.
That was so wild. My jaw could not stop hitting the floor from like the opening snap to the minute it was 28-0. I'm like, what is Cleveland on right now?
I was
And
happy.
Cleveland almost let it fall apart.
Kind of. It was weird. There was a point where I thought they maybe would blow it, and then Cleveland stepped on the gas again, and then it was just garbage.
I think they were just. I think
No, God, no, absolutely
I
not.
think they were just load management. LeBron's form of load management.
Maybe, honestly, like they were up 28-0, dream start. They were up,
LeBron calls them, take everybody out. Whoa.
Listen, take it from
They
me.
would listen to LeBron.
It's Cleveland. They would listen to LeBron.
Of course they
LeBron was probably like.
LeBron is the
Okay.
most famous man in the history of Cleveland.
So their interim head coach was secretly LeBron, but they couldn't do it because he wasn't actually part of the
AVP?
organization.
AVP.
And this was all without Kevin Stefanski too. That's the even though Kevin Stefanski still like installed his game plan, but like having Kevin Stefanski like there will be a big factor. I think this was such a big win for Cleveland too, because it showed that they're not the Cleveland team that we're used to.
And on top of it, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
On top of it, they were missing Joel DeTonio.
Yes. Well, that's what I mean.
Against one of
Like,
the best front sevens in this game.
Yeah, no, and
Front seven has been bad the last couple weeks, though. As soon as they lost Debris, that was the last, like, 3 or 4 games of the year. They were, like, bottom 15 in pressure rate. It was ridiculous. Their line fell apart without him.
Yes, but even still, there could have been a lot that could have went wrong for Cleveland. They were missing their best offensive lineman, or arguably their best offensive lineman. They did not have their head coach. They had very limited practice. I don't think they practiced really at all because of their COVID protocol.
They did, I think, like the last
They practiced one day.
They practiced one day against the Steelers on the road. And they went in there, and from the get-go, they just dominated that football game. And that was again because obviously we're talking about how like Cleveland barely beat their backups. Well, they beat their starters by a lot more.
Do you see that in the fans? There was a Browns in the stands right behind the Browns bench. There's a Browns fan in full garb, hats, mask because the end of his face. The jokes that all the conspiracy were that was Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey, whatever needed to happen for it to happen. I'm not questioning it.
LeBron, I'm thinking that was Kevin Stefanski and LeBron was in the coach's ear.
LeBron was there in spirit.
The coach is like texting LeBron on the sideline nonchalantly.
What should I run next? And by the way, do you want to come play receiver for us next week? I know you're busy with your whole bucket ball, but
Say, come play a real sport.
Oh, LeBron's not playing anymore.
I mean, don't blame a brother.
I do. Finish a game how you start it.
LeBron's doing load management. Noah ran away when I said that.
Carry on talking.
Carry
But
on,
the Steelers
John.
started out 11-0, ended 1-5. Isn't that
Worst 11-0 team ever.
right? Like, isn't that like that says a lot? Especially when you watch how they played the whole time, and everybody knew they were fluke from week 2, and just the whole season
Well, Steelers fans.
That's true. Steelers fans struggled to figure it out until about week 12.
Till about 7 minutes in that game. Like shit.
No, 10 seconds into that game when Cleveland had the touchdown right away.
Yeah, that's true. But
I think that Cleveland just has a lot more hype to go off of than Kansas City has will to win.
yeah,
It's gonna be. I think 10.
No, I
disrespectful Cleveland.
I do too. Very disrespectful.
I think so too. I think Cleveland is going to just have the channel of all sports fans that are not fans of Kansas City. They're just going to pull together to one to have them beat. They're just going to will it into fruition. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Don't fucking say that. I want the Browns to fucking win.
Yeah, come on.
I got the Rams to win. Nobody else thought that would be possible.
I didn't.
I want the Rams. I want the Rams to win. What do you mean?
Ben, can you please change your score? Because you're normally on about these things.
For what?
For the Browns. Okay, so we might as well start out with our predictions.
Yeah. So jumping into the first game of the playoffs, Saturday, it's a 4 o'clock game.
It's 2:15 actually, I think.
Well, it's 4:40 Eastern time, 3:40
Oh, is that
Central
what
time.
it is? Oh,
Yes.
so 2 o'clock is the Sunday game. Okay.
So I know because I work on Saturdays, so I don't know what time to start. Rams at Packers. It's supposed to be the day before, but not the day of. And I think the high was going to be 19 in Lambeau.
That's so too.
Not for a team that's been practicing in 85.
Are they allowing fans?
Yes, 6,000.
Oh, that'll warm it up.
It will be electric in Lambeau Field.
Yeah, Aaron
so
Donald goes to
excited.
Pittsburgh.
And I'm so excited for Go Pack Go. This is the first time I've heard it all year.
Oh, that will be fun. Wait, how many fans are they allowing?
6,000.
Oh,
The
nice.
same amount of the Bills allowed last week.
Nice. We'll get to see a Lambeau leap.
Yeah, so you can see a Lambeau leap. Well,
But
But
I don't
maybe
think
not.
they're going to be allowed to. They might be able to Lambeau leap, but there won't be people.
Right, not like, yeah.
like, hey guys, I'm gonna Lambeau leap. Back up.
Social distance.
Touchdown. All right, everybody run up.
What they'll do is the Lambeau leap section. They're gonna have like fake hands that are like extended 6 feet, so they can pat the guy. It's like, oh, just pat.
I think this game's going to start out good. I don't think even the Rams fans will be able to slow down Rodgers at home. I don't think this is not going to be like a phenomenal game from Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong, but he's going to do enough to win. And I have the Packers winning 34-14. Rams do not get their offense going against the Packers and the Colts.
He looks like he's gonna try and sell me drugs.
What's up, bitch?
Rams Packers. Talked about it before. There's a lot of good matchups to watch for in this game. Our defense is quite good. Really good. In fact, best in the NFL. We're going up against the best offense in the NFL on the road.
See, I think the deciding factor is going to be the Packers' best offense, the Rams' best defense, but the Rams don't have a very good offense. I think the Packers' defense is better than the Rams' offense.
And I would agree with that statement. I think that will be the difference of the game. But that's why I think the quarterback decision will be important if Wolford plays. I think that adds a totally different element that the Packers won't expect.
Would you be more comfortable with him playing over Goff?
Honestly, yeah, for the sole purpose of game planning. But in terms of who's a better quarterback, I mean, it's Goff. I feel like Goff, once he got back in there, played well. And he did enough for us to win. But the biggest thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to establish the run and be very good at it. We're going to have to average 5 yards a carry, which throughout a whole game is hard to do. But that's what we're going to have to average like 4 to 5 yards a carry to keep the chains moving, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. So for that reason, I think the game will be somewhat low scoring. I think we'll be able to put a little bit of pressure on Aaron Rodgers to, maybe force a turnover, maybe force some bad throws. But in the end, this is still the MVP Aaron Rodgers. In the end, I think the Packers defense is better than the Rams offense in terms of matchups and everything. I think it'll be a close game the whole way. I'm happy with how our season went. I am hoping we get this upset because that would make me happy. But Packers win 27-23.
All right, guys. So I'm sticking with the Packers here, just like the rest of you.
Go talk to me.
I have come to my senses a little bit after choosing Mitch to win last week's game. I thought about all my life decisions. I quit my job.
I hit a state of sadness and I quit my job.
I got drunk. I quit my job. It's just been... I'm refreshed, and the Packers are going to win this 38-28. I think the Rams are going to put up a fight that nobody expects them to put up.
Yeah, speaking of drunk, needless to say, my liquid confidence I had the other night is not. It's not. I'm not as confident being Packers as I was on Saturday after we won.
But yeah, 38-28. I think that Jalen Ramsey's going to slow Devontae down a little bit. It's not going to be enough. No, sadly.
I am sad, but it's okay. It was a good year.
What's up, Joel?
We have a lot to build off of. We just got to figure out our quarterback situation.
Yeah, maybe get Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz.
Straight trade.
Oh,
I mean,
That might work.
that's what I'm saying. You love Carson Wentz?
I do love Carson.
Same age, drafted about the same spot.
1 and 2. Like, literally 1 and 2. Same year and everything. But
Make up your mind.
I don't know. But then again, Ben's idea was kind of juicy. Give up next year's first-round pick, Robert Woods and Jared Goff for Deshaun Watson. It's not going to happen.
Stop dreaming. Carson Wentz is a viable option.
He is a viable option.
He's just moving from one team to another.
The minute if I see breaking news, Deshaun Watson traded to the Rams, I will piss myself and I'll cry of happiness.
Sure you will.
And I think the Rams will lose too.
Brendan, what do you have going on here? Packers, Rams.
Rams winning by a very slim margin. Just because screw the Packers.
To the Rams.
There was rumors of that when he got cut because Jared Goff got hurt. There was rumors of Dwayne Haskins going to the Rams. I'm like,
Dwayne
no!
Haskins right now, Dwayne Haskins' top bid is to New England. So
Let's go! Football gods, please.
Please.
Although I don't hate Deshaun. I don't hate him, Dwayne Haskins.
He's
bad. He's bad.
He's not good, but I don't hate him. He's bad.
Yeah, right. He's not good. He's awful. He's the worst starting quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky's better than him. Drew Lock's better than him.
I would pick Gardner Minshew over.
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew deserves a job. He just won't.
Gardner Minshew, I think, is a viable starter in the NFL.
Gardner Minshew to LA.
I mean, he'll have weapons. He'll have Sean McVay. He'll have a defense. All things he doesn't have in Jacksonville.
So the Packers score on roughly 40% of their offensive possessions. They score touchdowns on 40% of their offensive possessions.
Oh,
so
numbers.
What the Rams are going to do is they're going to hold them to 5 offensive possessions in the game.
In the whole game?
In the game.
That's a very bold prediction.
Well, you're dreaming a little bit.
Hey, hear the man out.
They're going to score touchdowns on the first 2.
Okay.
But the Rams are going to send them to third down every single time, draining the clock. Because the Rams aren't going to allow...
Does this mean something?
What is that?
Deshaun Watson is at the Lakers.
He is scouting out his new favorite basketball team in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Deshaun's going to the Rams.
What if he goes to the Chargers?
More like he just wanted
Why would he go to the
Chargers?
Fair enough.
Anyways, 5 possessions. Their first 2 are going to be very grindy possessions. It's going to go to half 14-3. Packers up.
Wow.
Then in the second half, because the Rams deferred. They won the coin toss and deferred. The Rams are going to get the ball. They're going to be on the same offensive possession for the whole third quarter.
Wow. A 15-minute long drive?
Yes. It's going to be the weirdest game in history.
That is bizarre. I would love it, but that is bizarre.
And the Rams are going to win 23-19.
Ooh. Love it. I love to hear it. Nothing would make me happier than to go to
and lose to the Bucks.
Oh.
No.
So he's bandwagon on the Bucks now?
No.
Deep down, he still loves Brady. Deep down.
That's what I'm taking from it.
You know you do.
I don't want the Bucks. I love Mike Evans is my problem.
No, you love Brady.
But I'm not bandwagoning on the Bucks because I have the Bucks losing.
That's what he does at night.
But the Bucks are going to lose to the Browns just to smack Timothy Brady in the face.
I kind of wanted the Rams to play the Bucks. I wanted Aaron Donald to crush Tom Brady's soul.
I wanted the Bucks to play the Packers so that way they could get blown out 38-10 again. It would have totally happened.
Well, back to reality. The Ravens are facing the Bills this weekend. I'm excited for this game. I think the Ravens are going to get the win. 38-24. I'm back on the Ravens hype train, guys, for this week only.
I'm still on the Bills Mafia hype train. I have the Bills winning 29-27.
I also think Baltimore's winning this game. I think Lamar Jackson is playing his best football. I think that excuse me. I think the Bills defense got a little exposed and they struggle against the run. And I think that's going to be a huge factor against Baltimore for obvious reasons. I think the defense is good enough to, like with Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, that front seven, good enough to cause a turnover to Patrick Queen, cause a couple of turnovers from Josh Allen. And that, I think, will be the difference. And I think Baltimore will get the win on the road, 34-28. And Baltimore will advance to the AFC title game.
The main reason why I have the Bucks winning is actually a fallout plan just to keep the Packers out of the Super Bowl. By the way, because that's the two teams projected to be in the Super Bowl. I do not want in the Super Bowl.
interesting Packers news, Noah. The Packers injury report for today. We only had one player to practice. Kiki Kingsley.
Interesting. What's the Rams injury report?
Kiki, do you love me?
No, he doesn't. He's too hurt.
Well, to be fair, it's easy to be healthy and you don't have to play. You have a bye week. Makes it easy.
29-20 Bills, pick 6 to finish the game.
You're wild.
Rodgers. I don't know. We were talking about Bills.
Lamar. It's Lamar. He can't pass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Moving on here, we got Browns at Kansas City. My AFC Championship, I just realized this. My AFC Championship is Browns-Ravens, guys.
Whoa!
It's the battle of the AFC North.
Which does not look good for the Browns.
Browns are going to win 24-21.
The Rams had 5 people not participate today.
Ooh.
Aaron Donald,
He's
David Edwards, Cooper Kupp,
He's fine.
Terrell Lewis,
He's always
and
hurt.
John Wolford.
Oh, okay. Well,
I thought he
so essentially 2 starters, two that are already confirmed to probably
Nothing
play.
to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
But Browns going in with momentum. Kansas City has had a bye week. Kansas City fucking sucks. Nobody likes Kansas City. The Browns are awesome. I love the Browns. 24-21. Browns are going to the Super Bowl.
I hope you're right. This is going to be such a good game. 10 points to Kansas City is an insane number. It is disrespectful to Cleveland, because here's why. Cleveland, kind of like what the Rams need to do, they're going to run the ball so effectively against Kansas City. They're going to pound it up their throat. They're going to I think their defense will be interesting. The thing for Kansas City is that they're going to have to take control on offense. They're going to have to. But if the Browns can slow down the pace of the game, take the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield played very, very well against Pittsburgh, and as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, that offense can hum for Cleveland. The biggest thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to slow Kansas City down, which has been not an insane task. How we've seen Kansas City in the last few weeks. Falcons did it. They should have won. They were an A.J. Terrell dropped interception away from losing to the Falcons. So
Miami almost did with 3 picks.
Yeah, Miami almost did with 3 picks. So I just think Kansas City's offense will be way too explosive. It might come down to a last-minute touchdown, which hurts me because that means I have to watch the Browns take a lead and then blow it in the last second. But that's what I think will happen. I know.
This is not the same Browns that we used to have.
And it's not. And for that reason,
Unless you ask third string receiver Juju Smith-Schuster.
Quarterback. Well, he said the Browns are the Browns. He didn't say the Browns were bad.
True.
Sammy Watkins said today that the Browns are a competition.
Let's go! The Browns are winning!
Chase Claypool said that they're getting clapped.
And guess what? They're not going to get clapped, but unfortunately Kansas City will win. But now they probably will win because, actually, no. I was going to say, we all have to agree to pick Kansas City to win.
Can't do it.
Truce?
Wait, can I still have Browns in the Super Bowl and pick Kansas City to win?
I chose the Browns to win last week,
You did.
and they won.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay, everyone picked, because I was the only one who picked against Cleveland. Everyone picked Cleveland except for me.
How about everyone pick Cleveland except for me, except in case he's going to win it?
No, but I also think Casey's going to win it. Oh, that's true. Wait, but you don't have Cleveland or Kansas City win the Super Bowl, do you?
No.
Okay. No, we can't jinx anything. We have to follow the same philosophy. I was the only one that picked against Cleveland. We have to roll with that. I will pick Kansas City. Everyone pick Cleveland.
Wait, did you actually pick Cleveland?
Yeah.
He did. I was the only one that picked Pittsburgh.
You got
He got called whack by Sweeney.
I did get called whack by Sweeney.
Funny.
Which, I mean, I just didn't think Cleveland would dominate the way they did. That was probably one of the most shocking performances in NFL playoff history. It was beautiful. I enjoyed every second of it. It was poetic. It was beautiful. But you know what? Don't sleep on the Browns. Do it at your own risk. If you want to call Cleveland not a competition to you guys, you know what? Fine. So be it.
Don't practice.
Yeah.
Just go in there.
Yeah, just go in the game.
Sammy Watkins just don't show up.
True. Don't show
Sammy
up.
Watkins doesn't do anything anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The Tyreek show.
True.
Tyreek is gonna.
Tyreek's going to tear his ACL this week. Mysteriously, Friday afternoon, Tyreek is going to...
Oh, Tyreek Hill is going to hang out with Aqib Talib.
There you go.
And then he's going to be like, somebody shot my leg.
Nope, Tyreek is just going to fail his COVID test on Friday night.
Oh.
That would be an L. That would be so awesome. Though.
He's not in that cold area. God, because that would be so likely to.
So we can do this. Next up is Battle of.
Well, no, but here's the thing. It actually could be likely because Kansas City has no restrictions for COVID. Like everything's open and everything.
Just like here.
Just like here.
Midwest.
That could happen.
Well, Kansas City's not in the Midwest, but
I consider. Okay, who considers Kansas City the Midwest?
I'd say it's borderland. No.
Missouri was a part of the South during Civil War times. Missouri is a part of the South now.
I don't think Missouri is Midwest, so no.
I think Kansas City's considered Midwest.
I turned Ben. That's all I needed to do was turn someone.
I was thinking about my Midwestern states, and I would not put Missouri as a Midwestern state.
Yeah, I guess
too far south.
I barely consider Indiana a Midwestern state.
So do you consider
Indiana?
So is Nebraska a
Kentucky.
Midwest state? Yeah, because Nebraska's only it's Nebraska, Missouri.
Well, southern Nebraska doesn't count.
Well, Nebraska's a Midwestern state.
Nebraska's a Midwestern state, but southern Nebraska doesn't count.
I don't know.
Some people say Texas is a Midwestern state.
Well, that's
just
dumb.
too far.
They're dumb.
You know
I'm
what?
from Texas.
You know what's weird? You know what it is? Maybe I just don't view Missouri as a Midwestern state, but I view Kansas City as a Midwestern city, if that makes sense.
I think I agree with you there.
But Kansas City is going to Kansas City is such a Midwestern city. Like, people are so nice
Do you
there.
know how there's Chinatown and little Italy in big cities?
Yeah.
It's the little Midwest in the South.
I mean, I guess.
Trying to find a good Midwest map, and they're all over the place. This person has Idaho in the Midwest.
Oh, Jesus.
This person doesn't have North or South Dakota in the Midwest. They just have Minnesota. This one is Minnesota. Iowa to Ohio is Midwest.
That is weird.
That's
Okay.
probably somebody from Ohio.
Okay, here we go. The Midwest, as defined by the federal government, comprises the states of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota, Wisconsin. By the federal government.
Well, I don't like our government right now, so I
You know what? And I
Missouri
understand.
or Kansas.
Well, I am just reading what is.
Anyway, we got off on a tangent.
Yes.
We're talking about football now, that guys.
Yeah, the battle of the old guys. I think the loser might retire.
Oh, by the way, Believeland 38-30.
There you go. Stay on the side. Brady versus Breeze. Third time this season. That's been possible.
It was either going to be the Bears Packers for the third time or Saints Bucks for the third time.
Yeah, but there's also a chance that we can get Ravens Browns for the third time.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
There's so many three-peats, and that's just because of the 7 playoff
That's
teams.
business, baby.
The Saints beat them twice. Brady didn't look that great in either of those games. I think the Saints will do just fine here. They're going to be at home. I think they'll beat the Bucks. I think it's going to be a decent high-score game. I think it's still going to be a close game, but I think the Saints are the better team, so 35-31. I think they have a better defense, and I think their offense is better. Honestly, they're a better team straight up. Don't at me.
You know, it's interesting. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. It's hard to beat a team twice in a year. It's really hard to beat them 3 times in a year if you get that opportunity. This is why you pay Tom Brady. This is why he has made a career of being arguably the GOAT because of playoff performances like this. I said arguably. He is, unless Aaron Rodgers
most
decides.
successful all time. Not necessarily the greatest all time.
He's not the most talented quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest all time.
You don't need to be talented.
Aaron Rodgers is the most
You don't need to be
talented all
talented if
time.
you're on have top 10 defenses every year and good head coaches.
He did not have a top 10 defense against the Rams.
Didn't know Brady played defense. Anyways, so this is why you pay Brady for playoff performances like this.
Yes.
The Saints, Breeze has been playing better, but I still think Brady has been the better quarterback this year.
I agree.
Antonio Brown now, unlike the last time they played New Orleans, is now in a legitimate factor in that offense. Antonio Brown has been so good. Devin White's going to be back on the defensive side for
big.
Tampa Bay. That is huge for Tampa. And I thought Tampa looked better than New Orleans did in their respective win. And I think this is the time that Brady gets his win against Breeze. I have the Bucks winning in a close one, 35-31.
So I want to kind of piggyback on something. I think the biggest thing here is I think the last couple games of the season, Tampa Bay finally got an identity.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they finally have an identity on offense, and they've been dominating ever since.
And I mean, the game was close against the football team.
Which I think which we all projected because their defense made plays, and that's sure.
Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have played in the regular season. This is before the playoffs. They played 5 games against teams who finished top 10 defense. Oh, total defense.
Yes, and this is fair.
They only won one of them against the Packers. They lost 4 other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just beat a top 10 defense in the football team.
With Taylor Heineke as the quarterback.
They could have started anybody at quarterback, honestly.
Right. But the fact of the matter is they beat a good defense. They scored points against a good defense, and that's what they'll need to do to keep up with Drew Brees, which I don't even know if Drew Brees is capable of being in shootouts anymore. You know what I mean? Because he's just not the same quarterback, and that's fine. That's what happens when you get older.
Here's the other.
Not everyone can be Tom Brady when you age.
The big difference is Tom Brady this year actually has been doing a lot more chunk plays, and Drew Brees with the Saints has done 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards.
Yeah. The biggest thing is they also got to shut down Kamara. They have to take Kamara out of the game plan.
Which Devin White being there
will be that'll help significantly.
Barrett and Devin White will be able to
at least make Alvin Kamara a little uncomfortable. Take him enough out of the game plan.
The thing is you have to not only take him out of the game plan, is you also have to take Tavius Murray out. Because we saw that with the Broncos.
Yes, and that's just it, too. And obviously, Michael Thomas being back is, that's big for New Orleans as well.
Is it, though?
I mean, in theory, yeah.
Taysom Hill's not starting, so it really isn't.
True.
But yeah, I have this being actually a really low score today.
I see that.
19-12. I think that there's going to be turnovers on both sides that are just going to limit the score here, and Tampa's somehow going to squeak it out.
All right, I got it. All right, so I think that's going to be really hard for them to stop Alvin Kamara, and I think that's going to be their biggest struggle this game. Basically, Antonio Brown is the Mike Thomas to the Saints at this point. Antonio Brown is going to be the X factor that puts Tom Brady over the edge. And don't forget about Rob Gronkowski. I know he didn't necessarily stand out last week, but I think if needed, I trust Brady, Gronk, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Over
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans said not. And I'm not using him for a reason, Brendan.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to be on that team next year. Over Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and Drew Brees because, even though they have a better running back, here's what it is, 32-28, and that puts my NFC championship as being Packers versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
So, the biggest reason why Gronk wasn't very flashy last week is Gronk was a part of what kept Brady to not get sacked as many times. Gronk was in blocking situations most of the night.
Gronk didn't even play that much. He was even targeted once. Is that everybody for?
Yep.
So, Super Bowl predictions. Some of them have changed, some of them have not changed. I'm still keeping mine, Packers over Bills. I think Noah already mentioned already. He has Green Bay over KC.
I do. I have the same score because I kind of want to see how both teams play this weekend before I want to change anything on my score. So I'll keep that score for now.
I know yours has changed.
Mine has changed. Yeah, I'll talk about that. All right. So after the Browns' dominant victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers,
okay,
and the Bills' shaky victory over the Colts, I am now replacing the Browns and the Bills in the playoffs. And because I believe in Believeland, I am having the Browns now win the Super Bowl 32-31. Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt in the third quarter. They're going to bring out Boyle. It's not going to work. They're going to try Jordan Love. Jordan Love's going to lose them a Super Bowl, fulfilling the dumb idea of drafting him with the first-round pick. Kind of wild thinking there. But, hey, I've seen crazier shit happen.
If you draft him, that situation would have changed. It would be Boyle and whatever the other third stringer.
Hey, crazy shit's going to happen. Browns going to win.
You know what? And how perfect would 2020, 2021 be? How crazy it's been. How would you not cap it out with the Browns Super Bowl victory?
Hear me out. Actually, I'm not going to change my score because they're going to flash on the ticker right now that we actually don't have anymore because we switched channels. Ravens disqualified from playoffs because everybody was on drugs. Everybody was cracked.
Don't see.
That would be the most insane instance in the history of sports.
This would make me puke.
Nah, it's gonna happen.
Damn it. Didn't happen, so I guess I'll pick another one just in case it's not delayed. Or just in case it happens to not be delayed and not happen and whatnot. But I'm throwing both the teams just out the window because one of them wouldn't be qualifying. The other is going to lose in the NFC Championship game.
I liked your first Super Bowl prediction better.
Yeah, it was another loss for you to rack up on your empty trophy case.
Thank you. We technically have one, but I wasn't alive for it.
That's why I said your, not the Rams empty trophy case.
Technically, we have an NFC Championship under our belt. Multiple NFC West titles.
Doesn't count.
They don't count.
Anyways, Tom Brady against Cleveland. I don't have Tom winning.
Oh!
I have Tom looking like
too brown.
Absolute garbage.
He is absolute garbage.
It's going to be Cleveland against Tampa Bay. And Cleveland is going to win 41-26.
Yeah, what did Tom ever do to you?
Tom looks better than 3 out of the other 4 that are in the top 5 oldest quarterbacks.
Who looks better?
Tom Brady, out of the top 5 oldest quarterbacks, Tom Brady looks better than Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
Better than Drew Brees. Better than Phillips. Not better than Rodgers.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
So you really can't say that Tom is ass, because I think the bottom of the totem pole there is Ben Roethlisberger.
Tom Brady has been a top 10 QB this year. He's been good this year.
Yeah.
So anyways, Cleveland, huh?
Cleveland, 41-26.
All right.
Go Browns.
I love it.
But the ticker is going to flash up. Titans.
Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Yeah.
Titans rewarded victory after every Ravens player was on performance.
They literally put Peds in the Gatorade.
Breaking news: Tom Brady has torn both his ACLs.
Oh,
Yes,
Then it would be
retired.
Rams. Then it would be Rams. Or actually, it'd probably be Saints Cleveland.
wow.
Saints are winning. Well, I suppose the Braves are. That's different.
Yeah, because
Who's the
backup
Bucks
quarterback?
backup?
Exactly.
Google.
Isn't it Chad Henne, actually?
It might be.
Actually, I think Chad Henne retired. I think we're good.
Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, Blaine Gabbert.
Okay, there's worse situations for backup quarterbacks.
But there's better.
Oh, there's way better. You could be the Eagles. Just have 2 starting quarterbacks.
They also have Ryan Griffin.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Exactly. That's why I didn't say his name.
What do you mean Ryan Griffin? He's been the backup for like a million years.
When does he play?
He went to Tulane. He's 31.
Yeah, he's been a million years. He was on the Texans since from 2013 2018.
Well, that's why I don't know him.
Actually, if Tom Brady just Tom Brady's injured, they'll just sign Dwayne Haskins.
There you go.
Okay. That'd be worse than Blaine Gabbert.
Maybe.
No, it would be. Anyway.
Players would be having more of a fun time. Strip Club City. But
I believe that's everything we have.
yeah, that's everything for this week.
Yeah.
We ended like a whole half hour earlier this time.
Yeah, well, we gotta crunch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, guys. We did another one. Ethan might be joining us in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Go back, Ethan coming back.
Super Bowl,
Who's
maybe.
that?
Yeah, well, go back to the archives.
You don't believe that's teams?
He hates octopus.
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
Go to our Anchor page, and that was actually just re-uploaded. Yeah.
What he said, the ceiling is the floor or whatever.
Oh, that's what killed Octopus.
Yeah.
Was because he said the ceiling's the roof. He quoted Jordan when I was just about to quote Jordan.
Yeah, but that's this week's episode. Thanks for joining us. I'm Duncan.
So, I'm Noah. I was going to be like, see you, but I'm Noah.
Wait, you didn't say your name.
I said Ben.
Oh, and I'm